got a lawyer to look over it, but a lot of lawyers, like they don't really want to fuck with it. ChatGPT. So this is my first time ever using ChatGPT. I never used it. So basically, they can sign their label over to anybody, and I still be with them. Basically, that's what they're saying. Can't transfer or escape, even the next deal. Basically, that keeps you locked in. Ownership changes.
Arguing on the internet, bro, call somebody, work the phone, call guns, call somebody you know, bro. It's like you got help out there for this. There's so many ways around it, but you talking to the internet is not how you.
Things have gotten ugly over there. Now, it's crazy that you want to turn your back and talk shit to the people that protected you. Mob ties moved with you everywhere.
Jay Prince just dropped a message that caught the whole rap scene off guard, and the timing made it hit even harder. A lot of people thought this situation was already finished, but that clearly isn't the case. Finesse2Tymes is locked into one of the strongest independent rap deals around, and Jay Prince made it clear who's still in control. No matter how much money NBA YoungBoy may have offered, that move isn't happening right now. While social media shows loyalty and friendship between YoungBoy and Finesse, there's a serious business battle playing out behind the scenes that many fans haven't heard about.
The rapper behind this meme put his contract that his label offered him into ChatGPT. And bro, this is what ChatGPT said. Label owns everything. Masters forever. Long-term lock with automatic extension. Gang. 360 deal. They touch all income. Expenses come out before artist gets paid. Label has final say on almost everything. Hard to exit once distribution happens.
Jay Prince didn't build Rap-A-Lot into a powerhouse by letting artists leave whenever a bigger offer shows up. That's why this story runs much deeper than the headlines. The real question is, why Finesse2Tymes can't simply make the jump, what his contract actually means, and what Jay Prince's response says about power and influence in the rap business.
So what have you learned from the contract today?
It's a 360 deal.
Oh,
I ain't know that. Yeah, I thought I walked around with a bop because me and Jay Prince Jr. understanding was we was partners. I was a partnership. The deal was a partnership deal when it was introduced to me.
So he pulled the finesse on finesse. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Jay Prince, Finesse2Tymes, and NBA YoungBoy are caught up in a situation where business, loyalty, and rap culture all collide. To really understand it, you have to look at all three men and the world they operate in. Jay Prince isn't just a music executive. He's one of the most influential figures in hip-hop history. He built Rap-A-Lot Records from the ground up in Houston, helped launch major careers, and earned respect throughout the industry by navigating challenges that would have stopped many others in their tracks. Finesse2Tymes is a Memphis rapper who's built major momentum with a style that feels raw, authentic, and connected to his roots. His music carries that Memphis energy, and fans have been supporting him in a big way. So when NBA YoungBoy started showing support, a lot of people understood why the connection made sense right away. But here's where things get interesting. Finesse didn't reach this level without commitments already in place. Those commitments are tied to a deal with Jay Prince, and many people don't realize how much that agreement affects the current situation.
The contract was never fit to help me, period. In damn near every other section of ChatGPT, it will always come back. This means this is in the label's favor. In damn near every 3-4 section, this is in the label's favor. This is in the label. And every other section, it also said, by this contract being so much in the label's favor, you may be able to get out of it because of it.
To understand what's happening, you have to look at the contract itself. Finesse2Tymes is reportedly signed to a 360 deal. Unlike traditional record agreements that mainly focus on music sales and releases, a 360 deal can give a company a share of revenue from touring, merchandise, endorsements, brand partnerships, publishing, and other major income streams.
Advantage and benefits could be used against you. They gave you cash, jewelry, truck, private plane, etc.
You pay for all that.
Yeah, all that paid back. That means they'll argue you already got paid, so you owe delivery. So walking away could trigger recoupment claims or even lawsuits.
In the right situation, that setup can benefit an artist because it encourages the team behind them to invest across their entire career. But when an artist wants a new direction or a different opportunity comes along, things can get complicated fast. That's why deals like this often become the center of major industry disputes. Reports surrounding Finesse2Tymes' situation suggest the agreement gives J. Prince's organization significant influence over key business decisions. That could affect how future opportunities are structured and how any potential move is handled. So even if NBA YoungBoy wanted to help make a deal happen, it likely wouldn't be as simple as writing a check and moving on. Contracts often contain protections, financial obligations, and negotiated terms that can continue to matter long after a buyout is discussed, making any transition far more complex than fans might expect.
I don't understand this Finesse situation. I think Finesse problem is, and I hope he hears this, I think his problem is he doesn't have intelligent people around, right? I don't know his lawyers, I don't know his managers, but they cannot know the business or he don't listen to them. It's only one of two things. Either they don't know or he don't listen. And if he don't listen, it's over for him. He gonna crash out eventually. But I hate I'm gonna say this. If you have proof that you did not get a lawyer to read your contract, you can get out that contract. That is a fact.
The biggest factor here is that J. Prince isn't known for negotiating from a position of pressure. When you've built a powerful brand, strong business relationships, and long-term success, you don't have to accept every offer that comes your way. In situations like this, patience can be a major advantage. Signing with someone of J. Prince's stature often means more than signing a music contract. It can also mean gaining access to an established reputation, industry connections, and a support system built over decades. That's part of the value his camp believes it brings, which helps explain why there may be little urgency to change an agreement that was originally accepted by all parties involved.
You can't talk level-headed to street guys until they get the information, until they're ready to receive information. And that's with anybody. You know, you can tell a person not to do this and not to do that. Sometimes they got to learn on their own. And sometimes it takes time and experience for them to reach out to the right people to help. So again, I think Ray Daniels is on the right path, but man, reach out to that man. Don't do it just for content.
But the story gets even more interesting when you look at how NBA YoungBoy and Finesse2Tymes arrived at this point. The strong public support fans see today wasn't always there. At one point, the relationship between YoungBoy and Finesse was marked by public tension and disagreements. Their issues became a topic of discussion across the rap world, with fans closely watching how things would unfold. The situation reflected a mix of personal differences, industry competition, and outside influences that often make rap world conflicts especially complicated. But here's something many people overlook when talking about rap feuds. When a high-profile dispute comes to an end, it's usually about more than a handshake or a quick photo together. It sends a message. That's what made the reconciliation between YoungBoy and Finesse2Tymes stand out. They moved past their differences and rebuilt their connection in a way that appeared genuine. To many observers, it looked less like a publicity move and more like two artists deciding to focus on bigger opportunities ahead.
Finesse2Tymes jumps out and goes, I want to get out of my contract. Just let me out of my contract, man. We're not going to do that now that the buzz is down. We're not going to try to get out of our contract and move on to greener pastures now that you have learned the game. Because before that you learned the game, you was not going anywhere. The Moneybag Yo situation only came about because of J. Prince and them. Them people really don't like you.
Fans could see the change in how NBA YoungBoy and Finesse2Tymes interacted publicly. Their connection appeared genuine, and YoungBoy's support seemed to come from real respect for Finesse as both an artist and an individual, not just from business interests. That's a big reason why the contract situation has drawn so much attention. YoungBoy reportedly sees value in building with someone he now considers part of his circle. But existing agreements can create major obstacles when new opportunities come into play. Reports suggest YoungBoy explored ways to help Finesse gain more flexibility in his career. In rap culture, moves like that can strengthen trust and loyalty in a powerful way. But here's where the story gets even deeper. Any discussion involving Finesse's contract also brings J. Prince into the picture, and the history between YoungBoy and J. Prince adds another layer to an already complicated situation. J. Prince and NBA YoungBoy have had a complicated relationship that's played out publicly at different times. When you have a veteran industry figure and one of rap's biggest modern stars involved in the same conversations, things are rarely simple. Both men have built strong reputations, and that can create friction when their interests don't fully line up. In situations like these, respect, influence, and business goals all become part of the equation.
Before Finesse went to jail, how much merch did he sell? Was he making $10,000 a month? 20,000, 30,000 a month, 40,000? How much merch did he sell? He ain't sell none? Okay, we need 35% of that, 40% of that. Okay, before you went to jail, how many records did you sell? How many times did your songs get played on the radio across America? How many millions of views did you do?
For years, fans and industry watchers have discussed the dynamic between them. Jay Prince has made it clear through public comments that he isn't easily influenced by popularity, fan support, or outside pressure. His reputation was built over decades, and he's known for standing firm on the positions he believes in. That's why any effort to change Finesse2Tymes' contract situation likely goes beyond money alone. In high-level negotiations, the approach matters just as much as the offer. For people with established influence and long histories in the business, every move sends a message, and every discussion carries extra weight. In situations like this, respect matters just as much as the business side.
Artists like Cardi B and Tekashi, these people's careers reached a different height because they immediately went into investments. They were charging $300,000 at one time for a show.
But you got to give people like time to dig and find for the information. A lot of times people don't know where to turn and don't know where to go, especially when you're coming off of being in the pen. You coming off of all these other things, people telling you they're gonna rock with you, they're gonna help you. So it could be a little tricky.
Any discussion about an artist's future also involves recognizing the relationships, support, and investment that were already in place before the spotlight got brighter. That's why Jay Prince's public response caught so much attention. Instead of staying completely silent, he chose to address the situation in a way that made his position clear. The message seemed to be that the existing agreement deserves recognition and that the contributions made along the way shouldn't be overlooked. For many observers, the response wasn't about showing concern or reacting under pressure. It looked more like an effort to put his perspective on record and make sure the facts, as he sees them, are part of the conversation. What's really interesting is what that response may signal beyond this single case. To many people, this isn't just about Finesse2Tymes and NBA YoungBoy. It also reflects broader principles about contracts, business relationships, and honoring agreements within the music industry. At the heart of this situation is a bigger question about agreements and the people who take chances on artists before they become stars. That's the part many fans overlook when looking at the headlines.
Exclusive deal. Very important. The artist is locked in exclusively to Atlantic. Can't record for nobody else. Label controls all music during the contract. This is standard, but very restricted. Length of contract. This is what labels win. Starts when deal is signed. First term until albums drop, plus 10 months after. Then label has 3 options to extend. Meaning, label can keep him for up to 4 total periods.
When Finesse2Tymes first signed his deal, he wasn't operating with the same level of attention and momentum he has today. Like many music executives, Jay Prince and his team were investing in potential, betting that the artist could grow into something much bigger over time. That's how the business often works. Resources, industry connections, and support are provided early, with the expectation that the original agreement will remain in place if that investment succeeds. From that perspective, any attempt to move an artist after that growth has occurred can be viewed as more than a simple business discussion. It becomes a conversation about protecting investments, honoring contracts, and maintaining the business model that many industry veterans have relied on for decades. For anyone who doesn't fully understand Jay Prince's influence, it's important to look at the legacy he's built over decades. Through Rap-A-Lot Records and other ventures, he established a reputation as one of the most recognized figures in hip-hop business circles. Part of that reputation comes from consistency. Supporters and industry observers often point to the fact that Jay Prince has publicly maintained the same positions and principles for years, which gives added weight to his statements when major situations arise. That's one reason the Finesse2Tymes situation appears so complex. It's not only about the contract itself, it's also about the influence, experience, and standing of the people involved in enforcing and defending that agreement. And that brings us to the question everyone keeps asking. What would it actually take for Finesse2Tymes to leave the deal? Many fans focus on money, But situations like this are often far more complicated than a simple financial transaction. Let's start with the financial side, because it absolutely matters. Buying an artist out of a 360 deal is usually far more complicated than simply repaying an advance or writing a single check. A buyout can involve estimating the future value of multiple revenue streams. That may include touring income, merchandise sales, publishing rights, brand partnerships, and other business opportunities tied to the original agreement. Those projections often become a major part of any negotiation. The challenge is that Finesse2Tymes' profile has been growing. When an artist is gaining momentum, future earnings estimates can increase significantly, which may raise the cost of any potential buyout. That's why these discussions can become extremely complex. Even if someone has substantial financial resources, the bigger question is whether a proposed deal makes sense for everyone involved. And that's only one part of the equation. Another key factor is what happens after a potential buyout. In many entertainment contracts, certain rights and obligations can remain in place even if the main agreement changes. That can include revenue participation on existing projects, ownership rights tied to past recordings, publishing arrangements, or other negotiated terms. A lot of people following this story believe J. Prince currently has the stronger position in the negotiations. That's not necessarily about personal influence. It's about the fact that existing contracts often give the party holding the agreement more options than the party trying to change it. But this story isn't only about J. Prince and NBA YoungBoy. At the center of everything is Finesse2Tymes and what these developments could mean for his future. Finesse appears to be in a challenging spot. On one side, he has support from NBA YoungBoy, an artist with a massive audience and the ability to bring attention to new opportunities. That's the kind of backing many artists spend years hoping to receive, which is why so many fans see value in that connection. On the other side, Finesse already has an established relationship and business arrangement in place. The partnership with J. Prince comes with its own benefits, industry experience, and long-term connections that can't be ignored. For Finesse2Tymes, this is a delicate situation. Every public move, every statement, and every business decision can shape how people view him moving forward. In moments like these, actions often speak louder than words, and the industry is paying close attention. From one perspective, J. Prince's stance reflects principles he has been associated with throughout his career. Supporters argue that he has consistently emphasized honoring agreements, protecting investments, and maintaining respect in business dealings. At the same time, NBA YoungBoy's reported interest in helping Finesse fits the image many fans already have of him. YoungBoy has built a reputation for supporting people in his circle and standing behind relationships he values. That's part of why this situation has captured so much attention. It places two very different approaches and priorities in the spotlight at the same time. YoungBoy's reported effort to help free Finesse2Tymes from a deal that's limiting their ability to work together can be seen as a major loyalty move. In rap culture, that kind of support carries serious weight, and it's one reason so many fans are paying attention to this situation. Meanwhile, Finesse2Tymes remains right in the middle of it all. He's the person most affected by whatever happens next, with major opportunities, business obligations, and important relationships all tied together in one complicated situation. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think YoungBoy will find a way to make it happen for Finesse? Or is J. Prince holding a position that's simply too strong to overcome? If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, share this video, and comment below. We want to hear what you think.